kind of lost.
Ready?
At least for that part. Being 9 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. We'll check the claims. Check them over and see if there's any questions or observations.
Like the state of Illinois, you can't get reimbursed for postage. Really? You have to use the state postage. They all have
Doc, what's postage reimbursement? For years you had a lot of claims here, it says postage reimbursement. Do you have a clue what that's for, or for all the difference? The postage reimbursement for all that.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, this is like for the post, the stamps. You know, when they send us through the registration, things like that, so we give them the money back as courtesy. Yeah, for the different clinics, you know.
Have we moved on that? I'll find out.
And those checks are to whom? Are those reimbursements made out to your?
From the animal control, animal control, we give them the stamp money for the course of the mail they send it to us.
To send us information?
Yeah.
Send it to registration.
Any other questions?
Have we moved on to that?
Yes.
Motion?
You need to pay the claims?
Yes. Do we have a second?
Yeah, second.
Brett? Any other questions, observations? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion passes. Are there any public comment? Seeing none, are there any points that the committee would like to bring up at this point? To what's going on, or what's happening, what's happened, or are you happy about the football game?
I thought it was pretty exciting.
Yeah. Reports from departments. Mindy?
I don't have anything at this time. We sent out the press release for the
complete your deferral tax program, and we get some phone calls about that, and there's usually a handful of people that do use that program. And a lot of people are getting their taxes done at this time because they're calling in because they can't find their real estate tax receipt, so we're looking it up for them.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I have trouble with that one too.
It's those ones that have a whole list of properties that, like, how do you lose all those?
Any questions for Mindy? If not, thank you. Bob?
As of last night, we rolled to 2015 on DevNet, so we're starting 2015 assessment year. Senior freeze notices will probably go out this week to the senior citizens while they're doing their taxes. So that'll get them off our back a little bit. Then I'm going to start some in-house training with Bruce Harris. They're coming down later this month on the GIS stuff that we've received. Start doing some training on that. And we have the assessor meeting next week. That's in the books, so we're moving forward.
Assessor meeting went as normal?
As normal.
Okay. How do we compare this year rollover date-wise or
About a month
time-wise?
ahead.
About a month ahead. That's good
But
news.
that doesn't mean you're going to get your final multiplier from the state in the same
Right.
frame. But it
But it's always-
it should be sooner though.
Always better when we're waiting for them.
Right.
Any questions for Bob? If not, thank you. Lisa?
In tax extension, Debbie's finishing up the drainage district assessments, and we just received the state assessed railroad assessments, so she has to enter all those. In elections, all the candidates are entered, and we received our first set of ballot proofs. Their ballots are proofed multiple times, so that's just got to start on that. There's 96 ballot styles for this upcoming April 7th election, because obviously it's the local election, villages and school boards and all that. So although it's the lowest turnout, it's probably one of the most complicated elections ballot-wise. We're also going to be changing one polling place. The Glen Raymond School, they didn't ask us to leave, but the election judges have never been comfortable there. It's cold and drafty where they have to sit. Students and other people are also coming in the same doors where voters are. The bathrooms for the election judges and kitchen area is really, really far away. So we're going to change that to I believe it's going to be in the basement of the Union Depot here in Watsika, and they're also not going to charge it, so it won't be any difference money-wise. I'll probably maybe I'll bring a whole list in March for your approval, although that's the only change for this election. And then early March, the statements of economic interest will go out. We mail out approximately 1,000 of those. We still have, it's around 30 units of government that have not submitted their lists of people who are required to file to us. So sometime this week a gentle nudge letter will go out so we get the rest of those, because that all has to be entered into a database to print out envelopes to mail the statements out.
The changes in where the paperwork goes is working fine as far as the clerks out there in your office?
With us doing the school board
Yeah.
thing? Yeah, it worked out. It was okay, better than I thought that it was going to be. I thought everybody was going to be standing there at the door from all the schools wanting to be first on the ballot, but it wasn't like that, so it was a lot easier. We're kind of hearing some rumblings that they may try to change all the filings, all the villages, townships, everybody would be, we would be the Leo for all that, which would be a nightmare. So I'm hoping that they don't want to do that, because there are, sometimes in the smaller units of government, the clerks change fairly often, and the new clerks are not trained by the old clerks, so they're not great with the filing for the consolidated elections. They don't know what they're supposed to do, and nobody has told them, and that's statewide an issue. So I think that's why they're kind of talking about having county clerks do it all. But that would be a lot of people coming in at the same time. So I hope they don't decide to do that.
Doesn't seem to make sense. Any questions for Lisa? If not, thank you. Doc?
Yes, sir. So, we received it, January, total of 22 calls. We picked up 6 dogs, and we received 5 cases of those 5 at this point. And some of them, like injured animals, have to pick them up and treat at the clinic, or the owner, or keep them at the clinic, or to see if somebody can take them.
Any questions for Doc? If not, thank you for that. The next item, the job descriptions on the animal control. I didn't want to go ahead without the okay on this. That's all one.
Oh, okay.
This committee and agreement from everybody, so I left it the same as we got last month, with the exception that I put in some notes that I want to see. And if there are any, what I want to do, I think, is go through this, probably individually. If there are any questions, let's talk about it, and then let's print one up for next month and deal with it. We're not, since we're operational at this time and didn't have it before, I don't see that we have to hurry through it. So, Sure. Just to replace overseas.
I cannot pronounce it.
Direct?
Direct.
Yeah. And you had a question, you had a question mark and an explanation. I didn't know what that meant.
So we can sit down together and prepare for private or?
You want to now?
Yeah, we can do it now. So, this one to be like this, but this one.
The plan currently is animal control director?
Okay, so animal control department.
No, animal control director.
Okay. You wanna about the workroom?
Did you have, yeah, Doc had a
The
question.
question I asked you was about, like, let me read the statement. While performing the duties of this job, the employee may be exposed to outside weather conditions and may rarely be exposed to potentially volatile situations which can present risk of violence or injury. And I think this including aggressive animals, things like that. This is the risk we can take. And then I asked you if we can get something for protection, like specifically for shade,
I think that's another issue though.
yeah. I mean, this is what I mean about the question mark.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let's talk about that issue another time.
Sure.
Outside this, I think we can handle that separately from the job description itself.
Okay.
And I wonder in that last one where it says, and may rarely be exposed, I wonder if we should replace rarely with occasionally. Because rarely
I'm
means
open.
like it may never happen, but,
I'm
or
open.
may on occasion,
Just take rarely out completely.
yeah. Or, yeah, just take the whole adverb out. May be exposed, period. And may be exposed to potentially volatile situations.
I agree with
Just
that.
take the whole adverb out.
Any other questions, observations? Anybody in number 8, do you have a better term for overseas? Or leave it that way?
Coordinate, direct. Coordinate is always a good word.
Coordinate?
Doesn't fit that.
Yes, no?
It should be then coordinate the responses to questions, concerns. Monitors is good too.
Let's use monitors. Unless we have other questions, I will put this together in final form for next month, and we can still change it at that time if you wish, but let's get a clean copy and go that way. Okay. The Shay's job description. what happened a year or two ago was the change from employee to independent contractor. I have here a copy of that. Take one and pass on, just one page. We ran this past, I don't think Shay was ever given this. We ran it past Jim Devine, and he is saying that the way our history is as far as employee, that he doesn't feel that it's legal or advisable to go to this document. What we would run into with the old job description and being an employee of the county has large ramifications when concerned with the Affordable Care Act and other employee issues. What we need to do is decide which way we're going to go. I haven't talked to Jim personally. I've only heard his answer, and I would prefer to sit down and talk to him, I think, to find out if there's something we can do. But if this group, we have to decide what we want to do. And I will sit down and talk to Jim if that's what you want me to do, to find out which way we're able to go and or stay or whatever you want to do. What's your feeling on it? Obviously, it was pushed through before. I didn't research whether it came before the board or not, but this is the situation we've been operating under as far as an independent contractor for the last year and a half, or I don't remember the time element. Actually, the last 2 years. Shay's predecessor, I think, had signed one of these, I believe, and I think it's something we dropped the ball on with Shay coming on board. What's your thought as far as employee, independent contractor? Do you want me to touch base with Jim on it? What's your pleasure?
Be a good idea.
What is the disadvantage of having the independent contractor versus the advantage?
Obviously, the advantage, as presented before, were of the independent contractor is the pension liabilities, etc. The benefits issue that we all know was a big issue. The other, but added to that now is the ACA 30-hour designation, etc. I don't know labor law. I can't obviously decide what we can and can't do. I think we have a resource that we're to use for that. So, Anita?
I don't know, I did tell Dale last week, this did come up in the audit, the fact that it went from an employee to an independent contractor, and at the time we made that change, I had been asked to review whether that was appropriate, so I made a copy at the time of the IRS publication 15A, which describes when someone is an independent contractor as opposed to an employee, and I documented 2 years ago where meeting the criteria of an independent contractor, why this position would meet that. The auditors ran across it in their variances because we had a salary line last year and contract services this year, and so they wanted to know. And then they questioned me on it, and they wanted to know why. I gave them this, they reviewed it and signed off on it as an independent, agreeing it would be appropriate to be an independent contractor. So it has been signed off on by the auditors as an independent contract position. It meets the IRS regulations.
You can talk to Jim about liability issues, et cetera. Clarifying.
How many hours a week is she spending at the job?
Yeah, can I say something? Like, I don't want
Sure.
to hook 'em with hat of hair, but I check around, like in Kankakee, different areas, even California now, and people get hired as animal officers. And one of the reasons is the work's comp. Her job is very risky. She deals with like pit bulls or different big dogs, some of them very aggressive, and she has, if something happens, she needs to be covered.
Yeah, she is covered under our workers' comp. During the audit, I specifically included Shay's expenses in the work comp audit and ensured they included her.
So she's covered.
She is covered under our work comp
Nobody told me
policy.
that before. I asked this question at the beginning.
Oh.
They said, no, she's not.
No, she is
She is?
covered.
Okay.
Yeah, I specifically included her.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That's a very good thing. Yep.
You brought that up to me, and I apologize for not getting back to you. I got that answer, but I didn't get it to you.
That's fine. Thank you.
And I noticed in here, Shay, you got bit this month. You okay?
It was boiled on my nose, it's fine.
The dog jumped up on your nose?
Yeah, he's a little scared, he's a very big dog.
That'd be fun.
Me too. Little pistol in my hand.
So what's your pleasure?
I think we should talk to Jim
Mm-hmm.
and get a recommendation.
So I will talk to him and check his schedule to see if maybe he can come to next month's meeting. And we'll proceed as normal, or as we have been until then, and see what happens then. Acceptable?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we need a motion for that. Any old business to come before this committee? Any new business to come before this committee? Who wants to go on? Do I hear an adjournment? Susan?
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you.